What's going on? What's going on, good people? You already know what time it is. This is your boy, the historian. We getting ready to get this thing live. Hit that like and subscribe button. We ain't got no time to waste. We got you covered. It's the BirdCage. Let's go.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Well, we already know what time it is. We getting ready to get to it, man. I got a full house tonight. We have Coach Brant, K-Dub, and Graybeard in the building and whatnot. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up?
Coach Brant.
Long time
man,
no
as
see,
always,
Coach Brant. How you doing?
Good to hear you, my man.
No, be in the building.
If I was any better, I'd be Glenn's twin.
Well, you come close to it. You growing out the beard and whatnot.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, man.
Hold on. No. And he's embracing the salt and pepper like you, so y'all might be twins.
This right here is wisdom and perfection.
That's called character.
That's how you know we getting ready to have a good show. I done froze already.
Character.
See?
Character.
Look, I'm gonna have to step out and step in, but I've already the screen already done froze, as y'all can see. You know this getting ready to be a hell of a show. So, fellas, let's jump into it because I'm getting ready to get this thing started off. Kirk Cousins in his off-season interview sparks controversy. Let's talk about it, fellas. I'm gonna throw this one up because Coach Brant hadn't been in here in a while. We're gonna let him start this one first. So, please. Coach, you look at what Kirk Cousins talked about. You're a former coach, so you understand things a little bit better from the coaching perspective. You either are hurt or you're injured. There are two different definitions to that. If you're hurt, you play. If you're injured, you don't play. So, with Kirk Cousins saying that he was injured, why didn't Coach Raheem Morris protect him from himself? And why didn't Kirk Cousins step up and say, hey, man, I can't play? I want to hear a coach's perspective. And then we got the two philosophers at the bottom. We're going to let those guys tap in from how they see it. But I want to hear this from a coach's side. What do you think, Coach?
I got a lot of questions myself on this one. Ultimately, he's a grown man. It comes down to him, but I don't think that he's gonna. I don't know. Raheem should have stepped in and made the ultimate decision that's going to be the best for the team. So there's no other way to slice it. And my only thing that's really bothering me, that I have a lot more heartburn about this situation than I would, is because he did the same thing with Young Waku.
Mm-hmm.
And that's once, shame on me. twice. You know the drill. So that's starting to show a pattern that's kind of disturbing to me. So I don't know. I just hope and pray that somehow the Falcons can escape the backlash of it from free agents wanting to come to us and name being drugged through the mud, and we can recover from it financially because we're already strapped with picks. So hopefully that somehow, some way that Terry Fontenot, Raheem, and Kirk Cousins are on the same page, and they said, hey, help me help you. And they're doing that to try to show that he's actually still got some fuel left in the tank and he's healthy, and they can get something out of a trade or somebody to take over somehow, some way before the deadline gets and we take that dead cat money. You never know.
So, K-Dub, how do you feel about this situation? He came from the coach's perspective. We want to hear what it's like from the fan perspective from you and Glenn tonight on this situation. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, I just felt like Kurt was being selfish as hell, being just like a money whore. That's what I feel like. That's what he did, and now he's throwing everybody under the bus, from the front office down to everybody on the team. I mean, the guy has to go. Don't get me wrong. I was swag surfing with him, but he done swagged himself out the door. He first he swagged himself to the bench. But now, with these comments, where you just can't keep your mouth shut, that you gone, man. I mean, I don't care what we get rid of you for. I mean, at this point, we've already had to cut our losses. It's not our money; it's Arthur Blank's money. But I don't see him irate about the money. So the case is, man, it was a bad decision from the top down. It's another decision made by Raheem and company, because these are decisions on Kirk Cousins was not made on his own. He's the one who's not bulging that he's hurt. And we're trying to trust somebody that seems trustworthy. He seems trustworthy. He seems like a stand-up guy, dad, but he's a liar. So that's basically what he did. So he lied to the organization, he lied to the city, he lied to the fans. I have no sympathy for Kirk Cousins. I hope that we get a deal done and get him to Cleveland, because I really don't see too many places and stops that he can be a starter again. But I think Cleveland, that he could maybe be a bridge quarterback into another quarterback coming out, because this draft is poo-poo in quarterbacks. That's why going back to the organization, they made the right move by going to get MP9. I'm
going to go ahead I got to ask you something else, because you're saying from top to bottom, but here's the problem. That's Raheem's guy. Terry had no ties to him like that. That's Raheem's guy. They've been tied to each other since Washington, and he wanted to bring somebody in with some familiarity. Raheem got to catch the hell for this one, because that was his move. Now, when you talk about him playing a hurt player, now if Younghoe Koo would have been put on IR like Coach Brent was saying earlier, then I would give Raheem a little bit more of a pass. But here's my thing: you in leadership.
I didn't say I would give him a pass.
No. I'm not saying you, but I've heard some other people just put it all on Kirk. What I'm saying is we can't give Raheem a pass at this point, because there's two players that were hurt that was pretty much still played while they were injured. So that's got to fall on the head coach. This is where I feel as if he failed, and I'm going to get to you in a sec, Graybeard. And this is not just to say anything negative, because I agree with you. From top to bottom is one thing, but as a coach, you have to sometimes protect the player from himself. If you knew he was injured from the New Orleans game and you saw it in Denver, you should have benched him a lot earlier, but that falls on coaching. You let this man literally squander our division lead at that point. So right now, Raheem on the hot seat with me more so than Kirk, because we know Kirk forcing the organization hand at this point. But Raheem, to me, he on thin ice, because the only thing that saved his job,
I mean, he been on thin ice though. The thing is, what I'm saying, I'm not like I said, that man deserves all the flames and arrows and bows you're throwing at him. I'm not saying that he's escaped any remorse, but the key thing is it's a lot of people got egg on their face. I understand you want to start with Raheem, but it's not. I'm not going to have no Raheem bashing party because until he gets fired, he's still the head coach. So let him lead and let him get a chance. And then when he gets fired, we can walk on him, burn his some capri pants on live. I don't care what we do. But the key thing is right now, the man is our head coach, and I'm trying my best to stand behind him just like I did with Arthur Smith until it was really time to go. Then we can just A-Town stump him. I don't care what we do to him then.
I'll put it this way. I ain't standing behind him till you earn my trust. Because I said from the start, we got to see what happened. And you're seeing the incompetence from the timeouts, from playing not hurt players. There's a difference between hurt players and injured players. Playing injured players and literally letting his ego get in front of us being able to win the division in the playoffs. So this just compounds on top of that. Graybeard, what do you feel as if this situation kind of puts both of these men in a situation? How do you feel Terry kind of falls into this situation too?
Well, I'm going to try to play a little bit of devil's advocate real quick. I want to try to say the reason why Kirk Cousins is coming out like this is he's looking at it like, look, I understand the city is disappointed, but it's not all on me. Let me give you my side of the story and whatnot, and whatever the case may be, on why we were unsuccessful this year and why we didn't make it to the playoffs. But the way my thing is this: he should have just came that New Orleans game after that postcard. He should have came. Look, man, I'm a little bit nicked up. I don't know. I'm currently for the next couple of weeks on how I'll be able to play. Raheem seen this.
You know why he didn't do that, right?
Yeah, but I know.
Do you know why he didn't do that?
Yeah, he's trying to save Michael Penix, and I understand that because
he's trying to save his job. He's not trying to save no Michael.
Yeah, Michael Penix is his job. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Michael Penix is his job. He can't get his insurance. Michael Penix can get insurance. You can't get him hurt. You get him hurt in year one, especially with a career-ending injury like a freaking ACL, MCL, whatever the case may be. Raheem is gone.
Well, that's the risk you take playing football. I'm saying with Kirk Cousins, he was trying to protect that starting job. That's why he's trying to wiggle his way out now and get to another place to start. Because
here's the thing: I'm not even putting him protecting that start. Here's the thing: it's not just him protecting that starting job. We got to go back to the press conferences when Raheem was saying he was healthy. And then when you had the training staff saying he was healthy, there are videos, and we all know it because it's going to piss you off when you look at it. And then they said it was a 2-year plan with Kirk. And for him to Raheem, when we all knew that the plug should have been pulled, no, Kirk is my guy. We're just going to roll with him. We're going to stick with him. And he kept doing that. So at this point, he does not get no grace. So my thing is, you don't have to crap on him, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to do the opposite of R. Kelly. I'm going to crap on him.
Oh, God.
I'm just going to keep that a buck. So it's just what it is at this
Raheem
point
Morris?
because incompetence is, here's the thing. You can't defend incompetence. And he's shown more than one time alone of incompetence in this situation. Am I lying, Coach Brand?
Let me say one
protecting this guy. You're not protecting this man. I'm like, who are you arguing against?
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's people that have been in the media. Not saying you, because you actually kind of hopped off the bandwagon of Team Raheem the Dream to now you got your pitchfork right now. Look, holding back like, look, Raheem, I'm trying to tell you, I need you to get it right, because if you don't get it right, I'm about to put this pitchfork on your ass. That's literally what I see, because I know you're trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. At least I give you that. I can't do it.
I'm not like I said, I'm not like I was when he came in, but I'm just holding out for patience. But I do not light a flame up under his ass now. I will do that if you continue to do the things.
Let me say one thing. Everybody was swag surf, the whole deal. Everybody was excited. Kirk O'Chains, the whole bit. We were 6-3. He threw for 500 yards on Tampa Bay. We beat Tampa Bay twice. We beat the Aints. He lost the division. How do you go from throwing for 500 yards so you can't complete an out route? He was hurt. Whether y'all want to admit it or not, the man was hurt. Now, coming out, his timing now, that's in question. The man, he looked like Desmond Ridder throwing out routes. Let's just be real. That's how weak his arm was. I'm not bashing. I mean, the guy has never been one to fall off the cliff that bad. That game against Minnesota was the most atrocious game I've seen him play as a pro. That was absolutely terrible. He was in there. I get going into the Denver game. The plug should have been pulled right after that. That should have been it. That falls. Whether Kirk's saying I'm going to play or not, as a coach, there's no excuse for what Raheem Morris did. None. I'm saying, like, at my job, if I'm in charge of something, it stops with me. Same thing with Dan Quinn in the Super Bowl. Everybody wants to blame Kyle Shanahan. That's Dan Quinn's fault.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, when the same thing, when Julio made that catch on the sidelines, if I'm the head coach, I promise you, I'm calling timeout at that point. And I'm having a very candid conversation with my offensive coordinator. And I'm saying, if you throw that ball one more time, you're going to be pursuing other interests because you're going to run it 3 times like I tell you to. And Matt Barr's going to kick this field goal, and we're gonna get our ring and go on. But
you compare Matt Bryant to Matt Barr. That's a hell of a compliment there.
I meant Matt Bryant. You know what I mean?
No, but that's a hell of a compliment there. He was one of the best in the game.
Yeah,
we know what you meant, Coach.
We know what you meant, but that was a hell of a compliment.
As someone that is in charge, that's something you got to do. And like, there's just. Man, he just seemed like the stage was too big for him this year. I hate to say that. It's like he didn't learn his lesson the first go around. And then his second time going around as an interim. There's just little things like clock management and letting your buddy call the defense 6 weeks too long. I mean, and not calling timeout and then play. You're not just playing a kicker with a hurt shoulder. He's got a hurt kicking leg. I mean, come on, man. If we make those 3 kicks, we're not even having this conversation. No. We win those games.
Yeah.
And then he plays a quarterback with a hurt elbow and shoulder. I mean, at some point in time, help me help you.
And that transitions right into the next topic. Morris's competence seriously in question at this point. It's a lot of people that I'm gonna let you know. I'm one of the ones that he got to make me eat crow because at this point I can't even trust him to fart in the toilet right and actually be able to hit the middle of the bowl. I can't trust him to do it. Wow. I'm just being honest with you on that because if you can't figure out how to have your players in a situation to where they can produce, and I'm not talking about injured players, I'm talking about being competent enough to make moves to put guys in there that can help. That's a problem. That is a serious problem because I get it. You know, look at it like this. I don't trust Caleb McGarry to block for Michael Penix Jr.'s blindside. I never have. No. Just being honest. Everybody wants to say, well, the last couple of games, I'm not looking at the last couple of games. I'm looking at the body of work that this man has had since he has been in Atlanta. It's been awful. Now, maybe he can change it. Who knows? But at this point, a zebra doesn't change its stripes. So we got to also start looking at a right tackle to protect this future franchise quarterback that we have at this point. Because if we don't, as K-Dub said, he got to go. So I want to ask Graybeard, this one starting off, and we're going to move counterclockwise, Graybeard, K-Dub, and then Coach. The question I got for you is this. How much of this draft is pretty much going to hinge on Raheem's career at this point, in your opinion?
In my opinion, about a good 70%. Because my thing is, he has to hit home run on the defensive side of the ball because that's pretty much what everybody's saying on ESPN, 92.9 the game. We saying it, everybody else saying it. The defense on the side of the ball has to improve dramatically. So Raheem, Terry, his new coach, his new defensive coordinator, Obert, they all gotta pour all their freaking knowledge together and try to get and not this and hit a grand slam with this draft. We need 3 starters. Day one. No exception. 3.
Okay, Doug.
No, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't know about no 70. I think we need to have a bona fide starter. I've been saying this for a couple of episodes now, every single pick, or y'all, all y'all 5, the whole game. Homeboy or not homeboy, everybody getting 5 because we tired of it, man. I mean, I'm speaking from the fan perspective, and the city of Atlanta, man. I know it takes time to build a winner with a new coach or a second-time head coach, whatever he is. And it takes time to build, but you're not going to get 3 years. You're not going to get the fortitude.
It didn't take Dan Quinn years.
No, I mean it didn't. But I feel like Dan Quinn put a better staff around himself when he came in because a lot of his assistant coaches are head coaches now. So the proof's in the pudding by the staff he put together when he came into Atlanta. And he had
But
came
I'm
from,
saying what he did in Washington.
Yeah.
He went from
Oh
zero
yeah,
to
man.
hero.
He did great.
Year
I
one.
mean, but when you
With a rookie quarterback.
when you draft that quarterback, I mean, I feel like that quarterback is one of the major linchpins to what they did. I just feel like we could have had the same thing, but they were scared to start Michael Penix. I mean, I just feel like the guy could have improved even more if he only
Penix
had 3
ain't
games that he
Jaden
had.
Daniels as much as I like Penix. He ain't Jaden Daniels though. I love Penix.
I'm not saying he is.
No, I'm just saying that's
Okay.
that's a special dude that season he just had. I hadn't seen anything like that since
No,
Marino.
that's very special. But we don't know what kind of season that Michael Penix had if he didn't start the whole season. So he can grow and learn and continue to get better. That's all I'm saying.
I love Penix, but I think there was a big gap between those two. I thought all along he was the steal of the draft. Jaden Daniels was last year. I was trying to get us to mortgage part of the farm to get him. It would have been well worth it.
But you got to
I
also
love Jaden
remember.
Daniels. I'm not gonna sell my quarterback short. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, I love Penix. I do. I love his skill set.
Man, I'm just gonna say it.
Go ahead.
The proof is in the pudding. Jay Daniels just won Offensive Rookie of the Year. So at the end of the day, I'm just saying ain't nobody crapping on Penix. Look, you don't have to sit here and keep defending Penix. He's our quarterback. But I'm gonna speak from not a fan perspective, and I'm gonna take my glasses off. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Jaden Daniels was that dude the first time he stepped on the field in the NFL. The first time he stepped on the field. Even with learning growth experiences and having receivers that were not that great. And again, I don't know who's pretty much going to end up, how this is going to end up, because guess what? He fell into a little bit better of a situation than Penix did. That I'm going to say, because that defense was already stout before Dan Quinn got there. That's a Ron Rivera defense. They already had a good offensive line because of Ron Rivera. They just didn't have a quarterback at that point. But I think if Michael Penix Jr. gets an opportunity to get his legs up under him, and he has an opportunity, he will be a good quarterback. I'm not going to say great because I haven't seen him play yet. I've seen him play a full season. A couple of games, that's one thing. We saw snippets of it. So we can say good right now from what we've seen. I want to see a whole season to where we can judge him and we can say if he's going to be great, a great one or not. So he has the potential to be great. It's there.
And K-Dub, I'm not throwing off. The only thing I'm saying.
I mean, it is what it is, man. Y'all already know how I feel about this, so y'all ain't gonna turn me no other way.
We ain't trying to turn you from that, but we gonna state how we feel about the situation because you've been beating that drum since day one. We're just saying what we saw.
Let the man talk.
All I'm saying is Jaden Daniels took his team someplace that the Atlanta Falcons have only done 4 times in 60+ years.
Fact.
As a rookie, that's impressive as heck to me. I'm sorry.
Very good. Very, very good.
I mean, we had Michael Vick,
even
we've
in the
had
Heisman.
Steve
So,
Bartkowski.
yeah.
You know, Vic did it once. Bartkowski never did it.
Matt
Ryan
Ryan
did it once, and Chandler did it. Ryan did it twice.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's impressive to me.
Very good.
And
The
again,
guy's very, very good.
And again,
Very,
we
very.
got some folks in the
he beat
chat
him out
saying
for the Heisman. He beat him out for the Heisman.
So here's the thing: how many quarterbacks do you see as a rookie? But how many? But let's be real, and I'm asking the chat this because this ain't directed towards you guys. This is directed towards some folks in the chat that's talking about it. So here's my thing: how many cats go to the NFC Championship game? First off, playing in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, in the NFC East. Let's get this straight. CJ Stroud had a hell of a year his rookie year, but that AFC South was weak as damn red Kool-Aid at a cucumber sandwich party up in Connecticut. That's how weak it was. Let's be honest. Jaden Daniels actually went through a gauntlet of a schedule.
Philly
coming in. And then he had to play the team. I'm just saying. And here's the thing. His defense let him down in that NFC Championship game because they could not stop Saquon.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. Saquon is that dude. But how many rookies do we actually see go to title games, conference championship games in their first year? Rookies.
It's rare. It's rare.
And I'm not taking away, so y'all can sit. So everybody that's in the chat, y'all get out y'all feelings about that, man. It's just what it is. Proof is in the pudding. The season was put together. We will see what they look like next year. And then you also got to remember this too. Jaden Daniels had a hell of an offensive coordinator in Cliff Kingsbury. That was also key. We got a rookie offensive coordinator here in Atlanta that still doesn't know when to run, when to keep things going. So again, if you're going to speak on this here, let's talk about all the factors involved. And I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking to my man Larry in the chat because he was saying about Jaden Daniels' first year. Here's the thing. Cliff Kingsbury is still the offensive coordinator, and he's already had a year to get through a rough schedule, and he's got a chance to go back again next year. And in that division, let's be honest, it's going to be Washington and Philly in that division, pretty much. And the NFC
Giant, rebuild.
Exactly. The NFC right now is pretty much those are the two best teams in the conference. We are trying to figure it out still. So all I'm saying is if we had a competent play caller and not a first-year guy, then I would say, okay, I have more faith in what Penix would be able to do. But you got a guy that's still trying to figure this thing out.
I think you're going to be. I think you're going to be. Really
I still feel like Zach Robinson about 2 more years. He's going to be gone like Ben Johnson. I'm just saying.
I think next year. Our offense is going to.
We already saw what happened with up in Detroit, not Detroit, up in down Washington. In Texas or whatnot with the Houston Texans. Their OC got fired, and he took them to the playoffs 2 years in a row.
They got him out the paint real quick.
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Hey, they looking at playoff is not good enough.
Another team's loss, another team reward. That's how I look at it because I feel like that coordinator should still be there, man.
And I'm glad Pittsburgh got our reward we gave him last year. That's the best thing we could ever do, give him Arthur Smith.
I'm like, no matter how.
They look, man, I think the Houston organization is looking like, okay, you made it to the playoff, but can we get further in the playoff? And looking at the play calling with DJ Stroud, it was not fitting up to par, but people were hurt, though.
Who did they replace him with?
No matter what you think, I think, anybody in the chat, any of the fans think, the bottom line is nothing is ever going to change until Arthur Blank gets tired of it and he has that conversation with the man under him, who is the root of all problems in our organization, if you ask me. And then he trickles down and says,
McKay?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's been the evil.
Hey, look, you talking about the homeboy system. They so homeboy.
Hey,
they were just hanging out at he owns we got a golf team. He owns a golf league.
At some point in time, Arthur Blank's he has to demand a return on
volleyball.
He has to.
Mm-hmm.
If not,
thing,
status quo, you're gonna make billions. Okay, you're in it to make money. I get it.
and here's the thing: Houston is loaded at wide receiver. Yes, Tank Dell went down. Yes, Diggs got hurt, but they're loaded. So at this point, let's be honest. When you see a guy that's been there for 2 years and actually had success and he gets fired, what the hell is our problem? That's my question. Why is it so tough?
They're demanding something.
Thank you. They're trying to win. And my question is, why not pull the trigger sometimes? Now, Raheem had his hand forced. I guarantee you he had his hand forced with Jimmy Lake in the D-line coach. He had his hand forced in that situation. But he did take a safe pick. I'm not saying that Ulbrich can't produce because Coach Brandt enjoyed that one. But what I'm saying is that was a safe pick because that's a guy that he knows. But Ulbrich has also produced in New York. So I can't argue with it.
If we couldn't have got Steve Wilkes, I wanted Ulbrich. I told you that.
Yeah, I wanted Steve Wilkes. I wanted
Ulbrich. I think that was like you said, out of all the candidates, that was the safest pick available. I really feel that way. I don't have any doubt that he's going to come in and produce. He's been in the city. You got, like I say, sometimes on this show, you got to be the right fit for the city. And I feel like he's been here before and had success, so he will have some success again.
I just hope he has
my question for you. Why do you have to be the right pick for the city? My thing is the city ain't never had no great picks because we ain't got a trophy yet. So at this point, why can't we just get somebody who's going to win? Why do we always got to have somebody that fits the culture? And I'm not saying this to you because I've had arguments earlier today, disagreements. I had this in the barbershop earlier, and I had to tell the guy, well, we got to get people to fit us. Well, apparently people that fit you ain't figuring this mess out. So at the end of the day, why can't you bring somebody in here that actually understands winning? But I'm just saying, winning fits the city. Winning is going to fit the city of Atlanta better than somebody's personality. Because the problem with Atlanta sports fans, and I'm a diehard Atlanta sports fan, just like you, our problem is we like to be entertained with flash plays and not wins. That is our problem. Been our problem since forever. And that's the reason why we can't get it right. So until we actually get somebody in here that actually believes in winning, that really believes in winning and shows the steps of competency, we're going to be sitting here having this same conversation every year.
I guarantee you, if you had a winning culture, anybody can fit our culture.
Exactly. The hell with popularity. I want to win. Because guess what? If you win, you get popular.
Well, let me ask. Can I ask one? And I'm not getting into the lands of ifs and hypotheticals and whatnot, but this is a very simple question.
Go ahead.
If you take Lovie Smith, if you take Steve Wilkes, if you take Bill Belichick, or let's throw somebody else in that. Well, Wilkes hadn't been to a Super Bowl as a head coach, but Lovie Smith has and Belichick has. So take Dan Quinn or even Coach Smith, Mike Smith that was there. Did we make the playoffs last year?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all. That's all that needs to be said.
Definitely, yeah.
The right levers are pulled and the right buttons are pushed, and you don't have that. We should have walked that division last year.
We should have.
Yeah, we should. I mean, I can honestly say that. I mean, I can say that.
Yeah,
we had Tampa Bay against the rope, and we pretty much should have put the nail in the coffin with the Aints.
Guys, y'all know I'm a Tennessee guy. And I can't stand Butch Jones. He's the worst coach that's ever come through Tennessee. He's the only cat ever. He's the only cat that's ever beat Georgia and Florida in the same year and lost the East because he lost to Vanderbilt and South Carolina. Now, that's what we did this year.
Yeah.
We had a 3-game lead in the division and couldn't even get a damn playoff game. Excuse my language.
No, you good. You good. Just certain, like, you can't just say the F word, the B word, the S
I
word.
know, but
wait a minute. Whoa. Tennessee did make the playoffs, didn't it?
No. I'm saying when Butch Jones was there.
Oh,
he beat Georgia that year and Florida.
Never mind. Yeah, you're
East.
Right.
When's the last time somebody did that in the SEC?
It's been a while.
Yeah. Butch Jones. That's a one and only.
But just think about it. And this is something that I keep telling people, and this is something that I've said for the longest, man. The Atlanta Falcons, for my boxing fans out here, I'm getting ready to go to a boxing reference. Go back to when he was one of my favorite fighters, and unfortunately, he got screwed in that fight, but this is what happens when you don't handle business. Go back to the infamous Mildred Taylor and Julio Cesar Chavez fight. He whooped Chavez's ass from pillar to post that whole fight. And unfortunately, if you look at him, he looked like he had the worst of the damage because he took power shots in that fight. And at the end of that fight, he literally was so far ahead on the judges' scorecards, all he had to do was stay away. Yeah. And he got hit with that damn right hand and got dropped. And then you get the ref to stop the fight. Just boom, he just stops the fight. With 3 seconds left, and he already got up on his feet and was ready to go. Didn't give him a chance. Stopped the fight at 8. So what I'm saying is the Falcons pulled what Mildred Taylor pulled. You had a chance to win the division, and you had you pretty much had a home playoff game guaranteed.
Right.
And you pretty much allowed Tampa Bay to catch you right in the mouth.
Again.
That's pretty much what you did.
Again.
So the most frustrating thing for me is last year, it's not just me. I know Ryan felt the same way. Glenn, you did. I've heard you say the same thing about Arthur Smith. We had a top 10 defense. We ran the football. We had, quote unquote, a good tight end and a good receiver. We were missing a quarterback, right? We go out, we address the quarterback. We draft a quarterback. Our cap space is good. We bring in other pieces to complement it. We bring in Simmons. We bring in Judon. Hey, I mean, we add to it what we need. We bring weapons. You know, we get everything. You got everything in place, and we did one game better, and we missed the playoffs. How? How's that happen?
Incompetent.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, that's one word you can say: incompetent.
And here's my thing: I'm all about opportunities. I'm all about guys having a chance. You know what I mean? Even guys having a second chance. But when you start doing the same things that cost you your job before, that becomes a pattern at that point. And when can you change the pattern? Because this year is going to be crucial. The only thing that saved your job this year was drafting Michael Penix Jr. at this point because he was a star. Ruka Roro started the show until he got hurt. And JD Bertrand started to figure it out close to the end of the year where he was starting to show flashes of being a good player. But at this point, you've got to be competent in what you're doing, and you've got to put this team in a position to win because not only is the city star for Atlanta to win, when you got the Falcons in the media pretty much all season, from the off season until now, that should tell you that they're trying to give us an opportunity to have the climate change and for us to be in the spotlight. But the question is this: can we stop crapping the bed? Can we stop defecating the bed if we get opportunities? Because eventually those opportunities go away.
Yeah, but
there's some other stuff that's fixing to take place too. Terry got the money side of it straightened out, but after this year right here, there's some serious contract decisions that have to be made. And that's what cost Dan Quinn his job. You can slice it however you want to. When we sunk all our money into 4 people, we couldn't win because obviously Dan Quinn didn't forget how to coach. Look what he just did. So
that was gonna be my question.
I love Grady Jarrett. He's long in the tooth. He's high priced. He's been hurt. Get something for him while you can right now. Get something that you can and put some young meat in there. You're gonna have to do something with Jake Matthews. You gotta make a decision about Kyle Pitts.
Pause. I gotta stop. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Friday when Smokey said that about Miss Parker. Need some young meat.
Well, I mean, but I'm just saying because after this year, those contracts are coming due.
Draco want to get paid.
What are you going to do?
Bijan want to get paid.
He's going to want to get paid. Guess who else? You got an all-pro safety that's going to have to re-up.
I ain't trying to lose Jesse Bates. Out of anybody that I don't want to lose, Jesse Bates got to retire here because that man there is a game changer.
Exactly.
I love Julio Jones. He's probably a top 3 Falcon of the franchise that's ever played there, or 4, whatever. And him and Matt Ryan, they were there for 2 or 3 years too long. I love them to death. Do anything for them, but it cost Dan Quinn his job, and it cost the franchise. It strapped us. We hadn't been to the playoffs since 18.
Yeah.
It just financially straps you.
You gotta make them tough decisions.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a business.
This draft and this offseason might be one of the most important offseasons we had in a while.
Yeah.
Especially for Raheem and company.
Yeah.
Them boys, y'all on the line right now.
And here's the other thing. When we talk about stuff being on the line, let's be honest. At this point, you better win this division because New Orleans is down. And speaking of New Orleans right now,
I couldn't believe that.
Dirty little secret out here.
I knew you was going there.
You're damn right I'm going down that path.
I couldn't believe that.
We've been bashing the Falcons for a little while. We're gonna get back to it, but it's time to bash the bagheads right now. Boy, it's some sick motor scooters out here in this world. So if you haven't heard, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk about the New Orleans Stanks at this point. There's a New Orleans church leader. And brace for the fallout. Think about this. And he's part of the list of Catholic predatory priests. And he was an ally to the front office in New Orleans of the Saints. And they knew about this. Here's put it this way. So the records of the Saints and the church had a long sought out public view. It was out of public view. And they revealed the team executives played a more extensive role than previously known in public relations to mitigate the fallout from the clergy of sexual abuse, pretty much with children, women. It's a lot of sick things, and the Archbishop was the main thing that was linked to this. So it's been around, and let's be honest, from 2018 until this thing was it was put out on blast in 2018, but it really came to the forefront this year. And you got a federal judge right now that's trying to railroad this priest, and he's affiliated with this team, and they knew about this. How do you guys feel about this horrible situation? Because think about it, John Gruden got fired over emails that were awful. What type of penalty do you think they should get? Because it's involving child pornography. If you go back and read the article, and it talks about it. It's sick.
You don't want to hear what I got to say about it.
They better put the counter rod to them boys, man.
We want to hear what you got to say if you can clean it up. If you can't clean it up, we'll pass it. But we want you to say what you got to say. This is why I brought this out for all y'all to talk about.
To a kid, I got no use for you. Period.
I think the NFL they're probably going to make a statement and give them probably one of the worst penalties I think in Robert Kraft. And Robert Kraft got nothing but a slap on the wrist. This is going to be bad. It's going to be incredibly bad. I wonder how much is the owner going to be how much they're going to hold the owner accountable. You already know the owner going to just be like, you gone. And then they're going to trickle down to the player. Then on top of that, how many players are going to actually want to play for the franchise after this came to light?
I want to ask K-Dub a question. How would you feel, and it's just hypothetical, how would you feel if the NFL said, you know how we going to punish you outside of fines? You give your most hated rival, the Atlanta Falcons, your first and second round pick. How would you feel if they pulled that?
Yeah, of course we'll be ecstatic, man. But I don't think that ain't gonna happen. But I mean, we'll be ecstatic.
I'm just saying hypothetically, if that did happen.
I mean, hypothetically, I'd be ecstatic. I mean, I'd be over the moon. I'd be talking trash to all the New Orleans fans. Like, hey, look, y'all had to give us y'all pick, and y'all around here touching on little kids. you nasty little oops. You know, I mean, I don't know what else to
But
say
yeah,
about it, but you know,
that when I was reading the report, I'm like, man, y'all making this up.
Hey
And it's-
guys, we got a tornado warning that just came across here at my house, so I'm on
Oh boy.
bounce.
hey man,
Hey,
you
be
be
safe
careful.
out there,
Okay.
Brent.
All right,
All right, thank
I'll
you.
hit
Thank you coming
y'all
in.
up.
All right.
All right.
All right.
That was Coach Brant, folks. But getting to it, man. I know we laugh and we joke, but this is a serious matter because you're talking about innocent children. And at this point, I look at it like this. No child should suffer that type of abuse. Now, and I'm not gonna put anything out there, but I know it's probably some people in the chat, some fans. There's some people that have gone through that same trauma in their lives with anything, because there's people out here that have been molested as children. I know a few, and I'm not putting anything out there, but that is a traumatic experience for a child because you take away their innocence and you put them in a position of depression. You take their spirits. It's one of the sickest things in this world. And for an organization to have knowledge of a man that is doing this, I can't rock with it. That's our rival, but it's bigger than football at this point. It's bigger than football at this point because you're dealing with individuals that are going to have issues when they get older. These babies have been corrupted now because of a sick individual. And my thing is, and this is just my opinion, you need to lock his ass up, and I think you need to put him in a cell with some of the worst of the worst convicts or whatnot. Because one thing I do know about the penitentiary, got some family that's been doing some time or whatnot. Hey, I'll be sending my kites this week. Shout out to my cousins. He'll be coming home eventually. But the one thing he told me was this: they don't play about child molesters in prison. Is there anything else they don't care about but that right there? Innocent child? Nah, you ain't gonna get away with that. So my thing is, you put him in general pop with somebody that don't have a care in the world and they ain't getting out. That's my opinion. So I'm gonna leave it at that. If y'all want to tag on some more, you can. But
I'm good.
I'm ready to get back.
I said my piece. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. I feel a certain type of way about it, because I have children and young girls. So we're gonna leave that alone because I might get a little touchy on that one. So
you ain't the only one, bro. Myles Garrett is an option, but at what cost?
the entire draft. But that's what it's gonna be for us. And then on top of that, he probably gonna want a signing trade. We're gonna have to trade for him, free up our book, and then sign him.
But he wants to go somewhere where he wants to win.
He want to go somewhere he want to win, and I just don't see us as a viable option, a real option. I mean, I know we're an option, but a reliable option that I think that he's looking at. I could be wrong. He may just really want out of the city of Cleveland and out of the state of Ohio. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there because if he's had some things go on, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say, for me, he wants from where he wants to win. I don't think it's much of the money. He just wanna win. So I'm looking at
I think that's what
Detroit. Detroit can go for him. Hell, even Minnesota can make a play for him.
Washington
Detroit
is the most
got money to pay him.
For him. Yeah, Detroit got plenty of money. And you got to think about it. Washington right now is the most viable position right now because
wetting them. God,
think about it. They already have a great defense over there. They're still figuring it out. They're going to go get corners. They're going to go get corners in this draft. Washington already has Deron Payne. You got the kid Newton, who I wanted to get drafted here, me and Coach Brand as well. And then you add him in Washington with Bobby Wagner and that solid linebacking core that they have there. And then you have a young quarterback that just lit the NFL on fire. And he's going to do nothing but get better. Why wouldn't you want to come to a situation that's already established and it won't be that much work on you? Because he practically carried that Cleveland defense, even though they were good. He carried that defense.
And then on top of that, Washington, the Commanders have a brand new front office that clearly want to win. And the environment, you can see the environment in the Washington Commander is like night and day compared to what they used to.
In Detroit,
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm looking at.
Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No. I was just saying
I was looking at the comment. I'm looking at the comment section. He's like, he wants a contender. Plus, we need our picks. To be honest, too many holes to fill on defense, and our coach ain't it. If the coach ain't it, no matter what we get on defense, right? If you're feeling that way, I don't know. I'm just going by the comment. I was just saying that. I'm just reading.
I know
if we hit on our draft picks, if you feeling that way, Mr. Johnson, then you just think we gonna just lose anyway. Don't have that type of mentality. And we gonna call it for what it is each week as they continue to go out here and prepare and play games. But don't throw them under the bus just yet.
Yeah, I guarantee he doesn't. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna say I guarantee they're not gonna trade it within the AFP. I don't. He gonna come to the NFP. Question is where.
Yeah, I can see him in the NFC.
I'm gonna tell you who I believe will go to Detroit if Detroit hasn't already picked there. I'm gonna give you this here.
Well, he go to Philly.
Well, Philly right now they got some other stuff that they got to take care of in the offseason. So he more than likely it's gonna be between Washington and Detroit. Now, if he comes to Atlanta, it's gonna be because of the fact that Terry was able to sweet talk this man into coming here, but I don't see it happening. But what I was saying was, so I'm gonna give y'all this. Now we were talking about Detroit. I believe they're gonna go after the Houston Texans offensive coordinator since they lost Ben Johnson already. Think about that.
They filled the position. They did fill the position already.
No. That's right. They did fill the position already. Never mind. They did it. They did an in-house guy. It was in-house. My bad. They took somebody who knew the offense already. But I'll be honest with you, if they'd have got the OC from the Texans, I honestly think they'd have been just as dangerous. But maybe they still might be dangerous because somebody knows these guys. Familiarity.
I'm hearing Matt Crosby.
That's what you went with.
I'm hearing Matt Crosby want to go play for Philadelphia next year.
Why not? I'm just saying, why not play for Philly next year?
If they get Mad Mac with that defense, gee.
Yeah, I mean, just saying. I mean, they're gonna move people around.
But they're not gonna be able to keep everybody on their defense pretty soon because they're gonna have to pay somebody.
Oh no, Jalen Carter gonna get paid.
But here's the thing: if they don't win the Super Bowl coming up this weekend, that window is gonna close. They've already been to one Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts already. That window is literally going to dwindle down if they don't win it this weekend.
Because it's all or nothing.
Yep, because guess what? Your team and your rival in your division is right on your tail.
Washington. I don't know what the Cowboys are gonna do, but Washington's there.
And so I'm gonna give y'all this, man. Now everybody keep talking about Mike Green. Look, if you don't watch college football, please stop saying Mike Green because he ain't the only edge rusher that you got. It's the damn highlights, man. Everybody keep pushing these damn highlights. If you're going to look at edge rushers, look at the class that is around. Because if he was that dude, let's be honest, he would have been mentioned for a Butkus Award, or if not a Butkus Award, a Chuck McNarick Award. He would have been mentioned for that. So I get that he's a good player, but damn it, there are many great edge rushers out here right now. Not just him. Don't get stuck on the fact that you keep seeing his highlights over because D. Orlando Ledbetter and these guys are trying to push that. That is a narrative that they're trying to push because the Falcons are looking at that or Abdul Carter. There are many great pass rushers out here right now.
Gone. Abdul Carter going to be gone. That's a top 10 pick.
I don't know what nobody going to be.
I'll give you this.
You don't know how the draft board gonna fall, Great Beard. People make the dumb decisions every draft. People fall in people's laps.
But here's the thing: there's a pass rusher out of Texas by the name of Sorrell.
That's who I really want.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the kid Sorrell from Texas, number 88. That dude there is a monster. You want to talk about somebody who can rush the edge, who can also play the run, and he can drop in coverage? That dude did it all. So my thing is, I need a guy that's going to be a Swiss Army knife because he can play every position on that defensive line, and he's not small.
Go back to the FB Championship game. You'll see what I'm talking about.
All I'm saying is Sorrell was a problem all year and even last year. So again, there's definitely great talent, but my thing is this: if you don't go edge rusher in the first round, defensive tackle, you got to get an anchor for this defensive line, and you got to get somebody that's going to keep your linebackers clean at this point.
Man, just go ahead and get Grady's replacement.
What do I need to say it for? The writing's on the wall. The tea leaves are right there. But it's up to the Falcons to boil those tea leaves and make some tea at this point.
Now, question: you said if we don't go defensive end, we go D tackle. What if we go? What if we go offensive tackle, like a right tackle?
I'm okay with that, as long as it's McGarry's replacement.
Yeah, I mean, if we do go offense first round, that's the only thing. You got to be offensive lineman. Other than that, I want the best defender on the board. It may be a corner. He may not be a damn D tackle, but the best one at 15, you're like, man, I can't believe he's sitting there at 15. We taking them. Improve the defense.
Corner. I'm sorry. I can't go corner in the first round. There's too many corners out here and they can start. I'm talking about day one impact starters. I got to fix the trenches because we have been getting bullied for too long in the trenches. We can't win ball games with just a corner. We got to have somebody that's going to be a stopgap guy that's going to control the pace of the defense. Because, again, we started getting gashed in the middle of the season. Think about it. David Onyemata was pretty much irrelevant this year.
Yeah,
you know, fool's gold. Eddie Goldman was solid, but he's long in the tooth, just like Grady at this point.
He had to get back.
You got to bring somebody in that's going to be able to be here for the next 7-8 years at this point.
You know, we could have had TJ Tampa last year.
We don't know how the draft going to fall. It may be a run on D tackles early before it gets to 15. And the guys that you're looking at may be off the board. I don't know how we're at 15. We got to see how the draft board falls so we know what's on the board. We can say we want D tackle, but if the D tackle that we're looking at, the 3 or 4 that we really want are already gone, then we got to start. And then the next D tackle we're looking at we got them graded in the second, third round. Why we take him in the first round? We made that corner rated high. I'm just saying we got to see how the draft falls.
I guarantee you 2 quarterbacks will be gone over the top 5 picks. I promise.
Exactly. And here's the thing.
I mean, I understand that, but they're reaching.
D tackles to start right now and be day one starters, like you like to say. They can be day one starters. It's 15 of them on the board right now.
I'm telling you.
And you like all 15
on the board right now. That can start.
I understand, but you like 15 of them.
It's not 15. It's not me just liking 15 of them. Put it this way: Peter King has talked about him. Steve Weiss has talked about him. I'm talking about this defensive draft is heavy. You got linebackers, you got corners, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
How are you going to be able to I'm going to say this here. The Falcons have gotten positions that put asses in seats for the past few years. That's correct. What they did. They got players to sell tickets instead of getting players that will help you put W's in the win column.
We need to get the guys, the glue guys, man. So, yeah.
Exactly. And guess what? One of your glue guys has to be your D tackle at this point because we don't have a true D tackle because everybody that keeps coming in keeps – oh, no. I'm saying everybody that we use are role players. Ruka Roro is good, but he ain't no true zero technique, man. He's not. We got to get somebody that's above 6'4" and above 300 pounds. We got to get somebody with no ankles, as John the Cricket Deacon likes to say. And I always say I want the person with the fat on the back of his arm, like the lady at the church. Gotta have it.
You gotta know. You gotta
move too, though, because we got our offense got motion and all kind of stuff like that. So he has to be able to be athletic and move. I still want to be big, but I don't want the guy that can't get out there and be athletic.
No, the guys I'm talking about. If you got all the legendary journalists and people that cover the game every day talking about these guys, you do know that these guys are athletic. You do know that these big men can move because you're not going to sit there and put a report out on a guy that's pretty much a standstill at this point. But I'll say this, man, because we're going to get to that next part and we're talking about players. Terry Fontenot was a no-show at the Senior Bowl, but he had the special teams coach there. But every GM in the NFL, including the GMs for the Super Bowl teams, were there. Now, this is a problem I have. You need to be able to start identifying talent. You were a scout at one point. All the GMs were scouts at one point in their career. They had to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You need to be there guiding your scouting department at this point. You're sitting here trusting, and apparently we've missed more than we've hit on picks. So guess what? He's got to do better because everybody keeps talking about the first round pick. We might trade back and get a bunch of picks. And where the Falcons have succeeded in the history of this organization has been mid-round picks. We've had some good first rounders, but in 60 years, we've had less than 30 first rounders that have been worth a damn.
That's a lot. That's terrible.
That's all I'm saying.
That's terrible.
And Terry is BSing about even showing up to this thing. And there's a ton of talent there. How do y'all feel about Terry?
I wish I know. I'm trying to figure out where was he at. Your ass went at the Senior Bowl.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, the house
his special teams coach.
I'm like, where were you at? No, I know. What was Terry at? I mean, can I find that out? I mean, were you at home? You watching the draft?
I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
D'Orlando Ledbetter was there, and he made it a point to point out that Terry didn't show up. He wasn't the only one.
I'm surprised that Terry wasn't there, especially how important the draft and the off-season is to go ahead and start planning out your board on who or narrow down who we're gonna pick, or whatever we do in the draft. So yeah, I would like to know why he wasn't there, because I mean, understandable, is you gonna be at the combine, of course. Everybody knows that. But to see you not showing up,
maybe he put more emphasis on the combine. I don't know.
No, but you still need to get a jump start on who you're gonna narrow down
to. I feel like you feel though.
I'm gonna give you this.
When you feel
he wasn't at the Shrine Bowl either. That was the other bowl. And now you have one more bowl game coming up.
The Legacy Bowl.
The Legacy Bowl. HBCUs, baby. Some of the best talent that's there.
He better.
My thing is this. Maybe he shows up. Maybe he won't. But more than likely, he ain't showing up. If you wouldn't show up to a pretty much a scrimmage game where PWIs were playing and players that you can get, you ain't showing up to an HBCU Legacy Bowl. And this is what I mean when I said I'm at a point where I cannot trust from my head coach, from my GM, and now I can't trust this here. Yeah, he made moves in the offseason, but guess what? The only move that he really hit on so far in free agency, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, and Jesse Bates, those are really the only places that he's hit on. Let's be honest. Other than that, at this point, I can't trust this dude at this point. Just like I'm starting not to trust Raheem. It sucks to say it, but I can't trust Terry now, because if you don't show up to an all-star game where you have talent that you can find that you can possibly draft in lower rounds, hey, man, it's what it is at this point.
Right now, the way I feel, show me. I don't want to hear no talking. Show me. I got to keep going.
Man, the Falcons always want to sit back and say they want to show somebody something, but they're not showing up.
They got to show me. They got to show me something. Because, like I keep saying, this is a very important offseason for the future of this organization. Damn, that's messed up. But for me, for him for not showing up, at least for the
hey, if you get him up out of here, hey, look, man, if he get him up out of here, that's a win.
Yeah, for him.
That ain't look. I'm still pissed at him for not showing up, because we got to get some players. Hell,
because I guarantee you, Washington, even though they jick in the NFC Championship, had pretty much half their coaching staff there saying, okay, how can we improve? What do we need to do to take the next step? And so on.
I don't know how they coded that.
Even Magic Johnson was there. Now remember, he's a minority owner a minority owner. No owners show up like
Mhm.
that. Jerry Jones has done it a few times, but let's talk about it. Magic Johnson ain't even been there a year. And pretty much the owner of the Philadelphia 76ers who leads that group, who's the majority owner, he was there. They both showed up with their scouts. Dan Quinn was there. So again, when you look at the Senior Bowl at this point, when you have, and the thing I respect about them, they brought in the Golden State Warriors GM to help them build that front office. They took some basketball minds, but what they did, they hired all competent football minds. That was what they did. They understand sports. They understand the money side of things. But what they did, they said, we're going to bring in people that understand football operations, and they're very good at their job. And you see what the results are really quick. Just like that.
Year one in the NFL
We may have to
championship
wait.
game.
We may have to wait till Arthur Blank passes on to his son. He may be thinking all the things that we're thinking and watching our shows and say he's gonna put it into action. But you gotta wait till Dad turn it over to him.
But let's be real. We were all happy about some of the moves that Terry made, but at this point, you got to be honest with yourselves, folks. Those moves didn't help us win.
All them moves and all we did was improve one win each year. Not a good look. We haven't had a winning league in over 7 years. God dang, boy.
Hey man, we ain't worried about it. Look, we already know Kirk gonna get cut. We ain't worried about Kirk getting cut.
Yeah.
We're worried about bringing in talent at this point because Terry is literally he done dropped the ball by missing an important game. That's how I feel about that. Maybe I might be in my feelings about it, but I've never seen a GM not show up at a Senior Bowl. Howie Roseman showed up at that Senior Bowl, and he's literally having to get stuff ready for his team in the Super Bowl, and he was still there last weekend.
Probably looking at more dogs.
That's all he's looking at.
Don't listen. I'm gonna tell you like this. I still am in my feelings about the fact that these dummies, and yeah, I'm calling the front office a bunch of dummies, and you know what? If I get in trouble for it, so the hell what? At this point, you literally are ignorant to the fact that you have talent in your own state, but yet and still you won't look in your backyard. You won't go there. But you know what? As a dog fan, I'm gonna say this here. I really wouldn't even want my Georgia Bulldogs to play for the Falcons. Yeah, I said it, and I'm standing on it because guess what? You can't figure out how to play with the talent that you have. So why would you waste talent that's been developed and that's really very talented here?
If they make around and
they in the Super Bowl. Think about it. Every Georgia player that was on, minus Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers, everybody that's played on these playoff teams have played in the playoffs. And you got that 2021-2022 defense in the Super Bowl right now.
If they win the Super Bowl, every Falcon employee front office need to be sick because they were right there in our hand.
They gonna be sick. They know where they played at.
And then on top, can't buy.
Oh, that was an outstanding comment by Trucker Mike.
I got, you know what? I got to put a star on that one. I'm saving that one. That was
Terry
awesome.
Outstanding comment. Starscream. That's what I'm start calling. Then we're gonna start calling his ass Starscream.
But it's just funny how I feel like this organization is in a state of emergency, but you don't see no urgency. At least in my opinion.
Well, it seems like leadership. It seems like leadership all the way around, and I'm not getting ready to get into it because I don't want to start no wars on here. But it seems like leadership is lacking all the way around. And if you picking up on what I'm saying it. Leadership has been lacking all the way around. So
I wonder how owner
I-
feels about this.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Watching leadership squander things and literally mess up things that actually benefit folks. You're seeing it right now. The Falcons and many other facets of life. But anywho, all I'm saying is at this point, Terry's got to do better.
A lot.
And I'm not even blaming. Here's my thing. The thing I blame Arthur Blank in is this. You let these fools talk you out of hiring a Bill Belichick at this point. Yes, he didn't win in New England without Brady. We get it. But he also turned the Cleveland Browns around, who were bad, and went to the playoffs and actually won a game.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. So he's been to the playoffs without Brady. Remember when Brady blew his knee out? Who was the backup quarterback that was there? Matt Castle. Took them deep into the playoffs, if you remember. So again, at this point, all I'm saying is we've really got to understand that leadership all the way around has to change. But again, as I said before, you can control what goes on with this team. You stop spending your money on certain things. There's a few things that people understand in this country: loss of life, loss of property, and loss of finances. They start losing money, I guarantee you they're going to start making changes. But that's up to the fan base to change that.
Yeah.
You still show up to the games, but you stop spending that money on those cheap hot dogs and you stop buying that paraphernalia where they get a piece of it. I guarantee you it'll be a lot of changes if you guys are calling in and saying different things. Like, I'm going to say this here. God knows if I had a radio station, if I ever wandered into some money or a position where I could have a radio station, I don't want the Falcons to be my flagship. I want people to be able to call in and say whatever they want to say about the Falcons. That's the type of radio station I would want. I want it to be like Philly. I want you to be honest about the team, but at the same time, they can't run from a fan's voice. We got local radio stations that will mute you or hang up on you when you start talking about the Falcons, which I think is wrong. I think this team needs to be called out. I think they need to be held accountable from top to bottom. Maybe Arthur Blank could get the picture. Because I can tell you right now, for a period of time, the general manager, Howie Roseman, here had to actually have security with him when he was going around certain parts of the city of Philly when they weren't winning.
Well, right now he's loved right now. So. He's loved.
No, I'm not going to be 92.9. I'm going to be more like Sirius Radio. Don't sell me short like that.
Ooh,
I'm going to be Sirius Radio, big dog, where you can say anything on there, cussing and all. Sirius Radio. I don't want to be 92.9 because guess what? You're limited in what you can say. So I will ask y'all.
I will say this about Duke and Bell. Bell been on Raheem behind for the past 3 weeks. He been getting nothing but smoke. So I got to give him credit.
He's limited in what he can be able to say. That's why I said I would want to be Sirius Radio, where I could be unadulterated, uncut, and literally, no chasing, just straight to it.
Okay, he had to catch him come today. Cooking.
I'm sorry. This week was just one of them weeks where it wasn't just being in my feelings, it's the frustration with incompetence, and you have a record of that. And I'm not speaking on just Coach Morris. I'm speaking on the Falcons in general. So
what do we have to do to get their franchise to the next level? That's what I want to know. As fans, what do we have to do?
Stop listening to Rich McKay because he's cushy in his job. You've got to be in a situation where you bring in people that don't mind hurting feelings and understanding that this is a business. My thing is this: the family environment got to go. I don't give a damn about the family environment at this point. The only persons that was good for family environments was the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they have a blueprint on how to do things.
They haven't missed the playoffs in a year. Like,
they haven't had a losing season since Mike Tomlin took over.
Crazy.
He's already said that he's keeping it in the family. He's passing it to his son. So I mean, we can hope for other things, but we want him to sell it. But he's already said.
But here's the thing: even if he passes it to his son, is his son competent enough to run this thing?
I know.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I know the Dallas Cowboys want to hear that.
But the key thing is, I'm saying it's going to be in the family. I know we don't want the family thing, but he's already going on record to say that. I guess Arthur Blank Jr., whatever his name is going to pass it over to him.
Being a Falcons fan at times, I love this team. This is all I know. This is all I grew up around. Yeah, I'm a historian of the game, but I love the Falcons. It's just you cut me, I bleed red and black. But I'm gonna say this here: being a Falcon fan is like being in a horrible marriage. You know your wife is gonna cheat on you. You know she gonna let you down. You know that she gonna pretty much lose the ring, which we've done twice. And they're pretty much going to step out on you, and they're gonna let you down more than they're gonna make you happy. But you're still in love with this. Let's just be real. Us as Falcon fans, we love this team, but we pretty much are like simps when it comes to a lot of things with this team. I'm sorry, it's just the truth. We really are like simps when it comes to these Falcons. Because guess what? How many Falcon fans can you really have an honest conversation with about the reality of this team?
Not many. All I know is this is like JG, man, a gift and a curse. Because you just love this team, but some way, they found a new inventive way to make you disgusted every Sunday, and you have to question yourself at times on why. Why do you love being in a toxic environment known as the Atlanta Falcons?
I don't know, man. I mean, unless I just stop loving football, I just don't see myself rooting for any other colors or teams. Or cities,
I can't.
Man. I mean,
I can't.
You know, so
I never will.
I hate that I'm in this. I hate that I'm in this prism or this Twilight Zone, but it is what it is, man. I'm here.
It's definitely the Twilight Zone.
Hey, well, think about it. Detroit fans suffered for over 20 years. Cleveland fans, let's just be real. Cleveland fans suffered worse than we did.
I mean,
let's just be honest, man. Cleveland was a proud franchise. Everybody, if you don't know your history, look up the Cleveland Browns. They were a proud franchise. And I don't care what you say, NFL championships were the Super Bowls back in the day. So get off your high horse and say what you want. That team won NFL championships. That team has over 15 members in the NFL Hall of Fame right now. And they're responsible for one of the greatest players of all time in the Hall of Fame. And God rest his soul, he was from St. Simon Island, Georgia, Mr. Jim Brown. So again, the curse of Jim Brown stayed with them since 1964. They hadn't won a championship since.
I gotta remain loyal because I gotta look at the Chicago Cubs, and they went through over 110 years of pain.
Curse of the
GOAT.
Yeah, man, there's other cities going through worse than we've been through. So,
but they eventually got a ring, though.
But they got that ring, though.
Hey, but they went through 100. We ain't went through no 100-some years.
We about 41 years. Look, we 39 years away from that now. Look, another 39 years would be there. And let me see. So I'm 38 now. So if another 30-some years pass, I'm be in my damn 70s if we ever do that. I'm gonna tell you right now. If we win a ring when I'm in my damn 70s, I'm gonna be mad as a hornet's nest. I'm gonna be happy, and it's gonna be like joy and pain, like Frankie Beverly and Mays. I had to wait till I was an old ass man collecting Social Security to damn it see these boys win a championship. I want to see it when I'm young. Want to come in the city. Want to throw a little money.
know.
Let me start cutting up, Sean, man.
What we can't guarantee nothing. We just gotta hope that and pray that it's rigged our way because everybody says it's rigged. Hopefully, it's rigged our way one year.
I just hope we're alive to see it. You know,
For
tomorrow
real,
ain't
man.
promised, fellas.
For real,
Like,
man.
like
I mean,
UGK say, one day
I'm
you here, one day you
hold
Then
my
you
don't.
head on
gone.
these back to back shit. That's all I can do. I can hold my head on these back to
Oh,
back because the Falcons may not get it done. May not.
well,
I'm
I'm just trying to be in the butt of the NFL. I'm sorry. You gotta get angry, man.
Oh,
I mean, you go angry that you have to laugh.
hey man, we was
But
gonna
we
do
can't
players today, but
make
we
no
done went
decision.
over. Hey, look, we'll say this for next week. Well, no, we got an interview next week, so we'll say the players for another edition because we still got all off season. But you know, at this point, it's just we can't even talk about the players because my mind is just. I'm not even gonna lie. Normally I'm holding it together, but damn it, tonight just my mind just scrambled like some eggs right now.
Well, you got to get back and think about it, man. All the pain. All the suffering.
You ain't lying. I bet money.
Okay.
Look, I bet money Atlanta turn into Freaknik if we win the Super Bowl.
Oh,
we gonna see that all over again.
Boy, you gonna keep nothing but peace and harmony and infinity of it. Boy, they're gonna be the greatest kumbaya moment in the history of America, boy. I'm telling you. Ain't gonna be no fighting.
Hey, look.
No violence.
Kumbaya, somebody be breaking in one of y'all cars. He's talking all the time, man. Anything like Freaknik, let it be like 94 Freaknik.
Yeah, no,
Freaknik need to
93.
be like that.
Hey, the closest I got
94
to it
was the
being
best.
stuck
Yes,
in
sir.
traffic on the
I
highway
was
as a
there.
kid.
94.
And then
I was there 93 and I was there 94. 94 was
you was so lucky, man. You was older to experience it. The closest I got to it was pretty much Black College Weekend in Daytona, my boy. That was the closest I got to it.
Woo.
I ain't gonna even sit there and hold you.
Woo.
As soon as I hear that, look, 17. Yeah, mama. You might get my mama gonna probably get me now, but I said I was at a cousin's house, but I lied. I was down in Daytona. No lie, mama. I'm sorry. If I get in trouble for it, I'm 38 now. I can take the butt whipping, but that's one that I gotta take now. That was an experience, but
hey man, Freaknik, man. You went there, you arrived there, good boy, but you're gonna leave there, man. I'm just gonna leave it.
It was epic, man. It was epic.
Let's just say some of the people that were involved in that are now prestigious personnel that you see as church leaders, city politicians, and a lot of folks, boy. You was running for political office. All I'm gonna tell you is this here. You better hope that like I said, when they put out that documentary, I know it was a lot of professional people sweating bullets.
You're quitting down in the chair like this, like, dang.
Now they're closed school for that. You know, they closed school for a little bit of snow on the ground. They're gonna close for them fast.
Nobody ain't going to work.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, and I live here in Philly, so if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, their whole city shutting down. I've already said I won't be in the streets. That'll be a day I call out. Everyone, what are you gonna call? But why do I want to be in the midst of all that? I got to watch. I'm gonna tell you this is the most painful thing for me. I had a person that at one point I had a relationship with. I will not mention that because that was a horrible relationship, and that person I will not speak ill on, even though I really want to, but I'm not. That person was an Eagles fan that I dealt with, and I had to go into the sea of humanity, and it was painful to walk because I had to make sure, nobody did nothing, but she wanted to experience it. So we in the middle of the street, we walking. I'm pissed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pissed. I'm a hater at this point. I'm watching people climb poles, destroy Wawa windows. I was literally next to the guy. I don't know if you ever saw the video. There was a guy who ate. He was so drunk there was a police horse that crapped on the ground. He dove into horse crap and put it in his mouth. It's on YouTube. You can check it out. It's on YouTube.
I'm good.
That's how crazy they got. They think about it. They greased the light poles up here in Philly to make sure people don't climb.
Yeah, they be climbing. Like I remember watching that. I think they won. It wasn't the football team. It was the baseball team.
That was the World Series that they won. They
destroyed the city. I was like, look at these nuts. I was like, look at these guys. So
bro, it's worse with football. The Eagles are the.
I mean,
I
understand, but when you said that, I remember seeing that after they won this World Series that year.
No, when the Braves won the World Series, we didn't even get that crazy.
Nah, because guess what? You used to the Braves winning. Let the Falcons win the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's over with. I ain't going to work.
I will listen. I will drive down there. I will push 100 miles an hour to get down there. I'm letting you know now. I'll be paying my speeding tickets, damn it. But I'm coming to Atlanta if we win that Super Bowl.
I told my Superbowl, if my Falcons ever win the Super Bowl, I ain't coming in.
I'm taking 3 days off because I know that I'm gonna be out there partying my ass off.
No, but look what
I rep Falcons so hard. The supervisor better already know.
But my supervisor, but this is what my supervisor said. He said, "Okay, I guess I'll give you Monday." I'm like, "Oh man, that's messed up." Oh my god. Okay, I guess I'll give you Monday then. I'm like, damn.
They want their Pepsi on. Yeah.
That's the most, and the most painful thing was I had to hear from this heifer, and I said heifer. That heifer told me talking about some your little raggedy birds couldn't take care of Brady, but we took care of him. And I'm gonna tell you, the argument got so nasty, and I know it's not supposed to be like that. I put her ass out my apartment. I said, "You got to go."
Hey man,
I told her you got to go. No, like it's just certain things you don't come with. I said, "Hey," I did what Martin said. Gets to stepping. That's what I told her. And you know what? At the time, we ain't like each other at that point. It was just at that point. That just made it worse. My dad called me. He said, "I know you," and he heard me on the phone because I said, "I called you back." He said, "I know you ain't put that girl at your house." After that, I said, "Yes, I did. She got to go. Gets to stepping." My dad was laughing his butt off. But honestly, though, it don't get that serious, but it was a lot of other issues we had. But I ain't tapping into that. But I will say it was a painful experience watching somebody else that we lost to celebrate. That was a painful experience. And then I had to hear it from somebody that I was with. Every day, I had to hear about that every day until the next season. And them jokers ain't win. But that's why I say, man, at this point, I'm at a place where I don't know, bro.
Gotta laugh.
I just want to see this team. I just want to see this team, boy. That's all I can say.
I just want to win, man.
Well, fellas, it sucks, but you know I gotta go ahead and we gotta end the show tonight. It sucks because I'm enjoying hanging with y'all tonight.
Yeah, man, this was fun, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Get up early.
You ain't lied about that, but
4:30 hurt.
So next week, like I said, so hopefully nothing changes. But next week we have NBA legend Bob Dandridge coming onto the show. Two NBA championship rings. He's a CIAA Hall of Famer, Black college basketball. If you want to know, Norfolk State, where Michael Vick is, former Falcon, and he's also an NBA Hall of Famer as well. So he'll be coming onto the show next week. He's going to talk about his days of playing with the great Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wes Unsled, and just pretty much talking about what his career was like. And also he's going to talk a little bit about Norfolk State and how Michael Vick can impact his alma mater. So it's a beautiful thing. So we got him coming on the show next week, and we got a couple other guests that's in the limelight. Former Super Bowl champion, and he was an HBCU legend as a coach too. He'll be coming on soon. But I'm not going to tell you too much more about that. We're going to go ahead and end this thing. We thank y'all for coming on. K-Dub, Gray Beard, and Coach Brant, the magnificent BirdCage crew. Y'all always hold it down, fellas. I appreciate you. And one day, man, we gonna be celebrating the Super Bowl, fellas. I just hope that we all ain't. I just hope that we all ain't too old to enjoy it.
Yeah, I hope we're allowed to hear.
Me neither. Me neither.
Yes, sir. And for those that are out there that joined us tonight, we want to thank y'all for tapping in with us tonight. Y'all could have been anywhere, but y'all chose to be with us. We appreciate you and we love you. And we definitely will be seeing you guys on the next go round, and especially if we got some breaking news or whatnot. So as we always say up in here, man, you either get right or you get left. We out of here. Ghosts.